Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. You're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Got a whole lot in store for you. Now, check this out. Leading things off, our first guest is the CEO of Walker's Legacy, and she joins us to speak about how she is helping Black women boost their economic power. Woo! Empower their entrepreneurial dreams. So welcome to the show. Please, Ayris Scales. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The T is in the house. Ayris T Scales.
Ayris, right. Don't forget the T, tenacious. Yeah. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about the work we're doing.
Well, we're going to tee things up and ask you about how do you get women to boost their economic power?
Listen, let me first start with who Walker's Legacy is. And a lot of people go, what's that name? What does that mean? And we are inspired by none other than the premier entrepreneur, which is Madam C.J. Walker. So we don't have a direct affiliate. Yes, Madam C.J. Walker, who most don't know is the country's first self-made female millionaire. Not just Black, but period, right? And so you think about what she was able to do during that time as a woman and a Black woman. We want to make sure that we are an organization that can keep that momentum going, especially right now. So we've been around since 2009. And the way that we do it is that we inspire, we engage, and we equip women. And so we host a lot of empowerments and summits and capacity building things. But our signature bread and butter is really our business accelerators and the dynamic partnerships that we're able to build with government and corporate partners. And so we take women.
You're talking about this woman right here?
That woman right there. You see her. Yeah. You see her.
She's in my book. Yes, indeed. People to know in Black history and beyond.
How many people actually really know who she is? So that's amazing. That just also speaks to her legacy and the impact that she's brought. Yeah.
And she did most of her work in Harlem with the hair care products and all that. Yeah. Became one of the first Black entrepreneurs, first Black rich millionaires. Yeah.
Rich. And legacy lives on to this day. So that's what we're about, the next generation. So
what made you decide to go into the work that you're doing to help Black women entrepreneurs?
So I will say, and I'm about to age myself because I've been doing this work for almost 20 years now. Like, that's crazy. And
you'll be just fine.
Thank you. But I was doing it in local markets. So like in Indianapolis, Atlanta, Georgia, I was in Chicago, I was in DC, and never had done it at a collective, like national lens. And so when I was approached with the opportunity to lead the work nationally, it just made sense because, again, right now is a moment and a movement for Black women and businesses. I'm also a business owner. And so I know the kind of resources that are needed. I know the kind of tribe and community that needs to be built. And why not? Why not come on and keep pushing this legacy to build Black economic power through entrepreneurship?
I just want to testify. Now, you've done some testifying on your own. I heard before Congress. Tell us about it.
You heard about that?
I heard about it.
Talk about monumental. Oh my goodness. Again, right? I've done some testifying at local councils. That's no disrespect there. But to be able to sit before Congress and really talk about solutions and opportunities to fund women of color, especially entrepreneurs, that's monumental. I mean, that goes down in the books. I hope my grandkids get to watch that one and be like, that's But it was a good opportunity to really share and place Congress in the position and from a lens of what women who are in entrepreneurship are really going through. It's one thing to have policy and to really pontificate about things, but it's another to be able to be there and be a voice and start seeing action. And it's great because we're seeing a lot more funding trickling down and trickling out to support us.
Who are some of the legislators that you had to talk to in order to make this happen?
Oh my God, come on now. Well, I would have to go back and Google. I mean, that was like 9 months ago. Don't put me on blast like that. I will say one was actually from New York.
Yeah, you keep it going. I mean, you could have walked right across the street. You live in DC.
A mile and a half from the Capitol. It was,
I got you. So
Oh,
let's talk about some of your successes. That was
there we
one of
go.
them.
Let's talk about stuff I can readily remember. About successes. You know what I love to talk about, and it's really what drives my work, is my ability to create public-private partnerships. And I say that because none of the work that we are doing at Walker's Legacy, or any of the work that I've done leading up to this point, can be done by itself. I think, we think about these social issues that are impacting our community. We point often at, what is the private sector doing? What can government do more of? Oh, how's the nonprofit community stepping up? But what we know is that it really takes that collective approach. And so I value really bringing corporations and government leaders and nonprofits, philanthropic community to the table to figure out how we build collective plans, particularly that are backed with resources. So, I love to raise money. A lot of people don't. They hate asking. They don't like to go through that process. I love it. I've probably raised close now to $60 million, right? And I think that that is critical, because it's one thing to be out here trying to do the work, but if you don't have the resources to execute, it's all in vain. So those are things that I'm really proud of. Also, just being able to get legislation passed that supports entrepreneurs, legislation passed that supports affordable housing. I'm a policy girl through and true in my heart, but
I hear you. I understand they call you the cleanup woman.
Hey.
Now, why do they call you the cleanup woman?
It's so crazy, because one time someone said to me, Ayris, where do you get all these amazing jobs? Now, I'm not saying my jobs are not amazing. I've had some nice jobs, but I looked at her and I said, it's my job to make them look amazing. Like, you get to see all the good stuff, right? You don't understand the things that are happening on the inside that I'm having to address from an operations standpoint, from an infrastructure standpoint. And I think I kind of got that nickname because there are many organizations on my resume and clients that I've gone. What do you think?
I said, what?
Making it easy. Although I do, I favor the Layla James version.
There you go.
She did the remix. No, but so I go in and I'm often asked, I'm tasked with really rebuilding internal infrastructure, right? Really looking at strategy and looking at our programmatic execution, looking at team compositions and funding. And I actually enjoy that. Like, it's crazy. As much as I enjoy being external, I'm obsessed with making sure that internal operations are in place, because I think they help with your impact and your sustainability.
You bring resources and solutions, right, to women that need financial helpings to get along in business, basically.
Unequivocally, absolutely. We bring resources, we bring solutions, we bring community, we bring opportunity at Walker's.
You bring it.
We bring it. We do.
You bring it.
Which is why I think we've been around for so long, Bob. And right now, not to take that away, I mean, it's beautiful to see so many organizations and entities that are now popping up or branching out to support entrepreneurs, particularly women, particularly Black. But I always say, like, honestly, I feel honored to be at the helm of really one of the first and largest serving organizations solely committed to empowering women who are in entrepreneurship.
Well, April is International Black Women's History Month, and globally, Black women are finally seen as stakeholders in the world. But is that enough? What do you recommend that can be done to help acknowledge more women and bring them to the table?
Yeah, I just did a series yesterday on decolonizing philanthropy. And we talked a lot about what it looks like and what it really means to create and support opportunity. And, when we think about these tables, first of all, I'm like, well, what is the table that we're all talking about? There's so many tables now, and we are so dope that we're creating our own tables and people are asking to come to our table, right? I mean, they really are, right? They can't even run elections and campaigns anymore without us. They're scared to appoint people to boards and commissions without our blessing. So I say, we are the table. We are creating the table. But when we think about kind of these traditional tables that have been around, and we get there and we're not being seen, or we're not being valued, or we're not being heard, I also think it's a good opportunity for us to think about what tables we want to be at and why do we want to be there, and do we understand the culture and those dynamics. I mean, we want to be able to come as our authentic self, and I don't want anyone to change or address who they are. I mean, you see I'm sitting here with blonde hair and African earrings and a blazer like this and a hot pink wall. I'm going to always be who Ayris is. But I also try to really understand the room that I'm walking into. I'm going to show up as myself, but there may be some things that I adapt and I adopt so that I can keep coming back and make sure there's an opportunity for another woman like me to be there. I don't think it is enough, though, just to be like, oh, we're going to support Black people, we're going to support Black women. It becomes performative when you don't have practices and policies that follow behind it.
That's beautiful. We love the work that you're doing, and I love your confidence. I love your style. I think you're a brilliant woman, and you're going to help others. You're going to continue to help others get a lot, out of life.
And let me just shout out. We have women from New York who just applied, who are about to go through our Women Who Enterprise Business Accelerator program, which kicks off this month in April. And so we have 17 women from New York City.
Oh!
We have 25 women from New York State. So I just want to give y'all a shout out. I can't wait to see y'all and say, hey, ladies.
You have more information on your website?
We have more information on walkerslegacy.com. Very simple, walkerslegacy.com. You can find us on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, LinkedIn. Connect.
Thank you so much, all right?
Thank you.
You're always welcome to come back.
Awesome.
You have a spot right here with us.
I'll take you up on it.
You whopping that neck? And listen, thank you for all the wonderful information. And once again, thank you for all that you're doing in our community. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I love it.
Ayris T. Scales, CEO, Walker's Legacy. That's what's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. More open on the way. Coming up next.